The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Let's watch Joe Biden go from excited to devastated on the election. We're starting this off with his campaign ad launching his campaign.
To fight for our democracy. This shouldn't be a red or blue issue. To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally.
So clearly at this point, Joe Biden thought he would be the nominee. He thought this for a while, but we will move on for now. Okay, real quick, this is basically the reason I want to make this video now. Biden's recent comments.
I was surprised. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is...
I don't even know what that means. We'll get to that later, but back to the video. As Joe Biden was president and getting into the 2024 campaign, moments like this became more and more common.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm not introducing me, Mark is. So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. Have a good time. Thank you for your service.
Look, I would have probably made fun of him anyway, but if you're going to come in here and say that the Trump campaign took the sexist route, whatever you mean, I'm not going to be easy on you at all in this video, as Biden made gaffe after gaffe. Some of them were so embarrassing too. People tried to gaslight the world, saying they were cheap fakes.
The White House is in an uproar, blasting what they say is a right-wing media attempt to make President Biden appear senile by manipulating and selectively editing video clips.
They do these cheap fakes. They're cheap fakes.
In this video widely circulated on social media from the D-Day commemorations in France, the president appears to wander off, lost and confused. But what you don't see is that he walked over to talk to a skydiver, giving him a thumbs up.
They just cut the film the way they want. It's falsely made to appear as though he's wandering off, as if he's senile.
And this video...
It's a very normal thing to do. Just a slow walk, double thumbs up.
From a Hollywood fundraiser Saturday is playing over and over on Fox News. It shows former President Obama taking a seemingly frozen Biden by the hand and guiding him off stage. The Biden campaign responded by releasing their own video showing a more animated President Biden.
It's really important for people to, exercise every little bit of media literacy they have. If you see a clip, double check it, verify it before you share it, because you may not be getting the full story.
Walking off the stage with someone's hand on your back. I mean, if you do that, fine, you shouldn't be the president. But this is the moment that totally popped the delusional bubble. It became impossible after this, I think, to cover up the Biden-Trump debate, which went obviously so badly for Biden.
Won 2 club championships, not even senior. 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag.
And then, of course, there was this moment.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look,
history will show Trump versus Kamala, Trump beating Kamala. In 24, Trump essentially beat both of them. He beat Biden, Biden got replaced, then he beat Kamala. I think that's a pretty fair way to frame 24. Following the embarrassing display at the debate, questions arose, of course. Are you going to stay in the race, Joe Biden?
Can you still beat Trump?
As President Joe Biden sets out to reassure voters he's still up to the job.
Well, let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm staying in the race.
8 days after his political implosion.
We'll see if you actually do.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
And we do have some breaking news from the decision desk. NBC News can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
However, despite Biden insisting he was staying in, a short while later, this happened.
Good day. We are coming on the air with significant breaking news and a critical moment in the presidential race. NBC News has learned President Biden will step aside as the presumptive Democratic nominee.
This is just a 10-second clip or so from Biden's announcement saying he was going to drop out. Does this guy look ready for 4 more years?
We've come so far since my inauguration. On that day, I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities. We're in the grip of the we were in the grip of the worst.
What did he say? Let me know in the comments. Best guess, I guess. Maybe I'll pin the comment. What did he say there? Winner, a pair? I don't even know at all. Okay, so Biden drops out. I guess he becomes somebody that can campaign for Kamala. Didn't happen much, but we'll show the moments where it did. Here's the DNC.
Selecting Kamala was the very first decision I made when I became our nominee. And it was the best decision I made my whole career.
Tim Walz, man. Every time I see him on video, it makes me want to do another video making fun of Tim Walz. Come on, Tim. Biden really did not do that much media in the months leading up to the campaign, but there were certain times they pretty much all went poorly.
I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up. Politically lock him up. Lock him out. That's what we have to do. And so look, you all know how this works. Every single vote counts.
Then, of course, there was this moment where he called Trump supporters garbage in a ridiculous statement akin to the whole Hillary Clinton deplorables comment.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Donald Trump has no character. He doesn't give a damn about the Latino community. He's failed businessman. He only cares about the billionaire friends he has and accumulating wealth for those at the top. He says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. He wants to do away with the birthright citizenship. Who the hell has said that in the last 100 years? And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Look, that's pretty clear. People tried to spin it. That's very bad. I don't think he's really publicly apologized or said much about this. I don't think. Maybe I missed something, but I don't really know that that's like a stutter. He called Trump supporters garbage.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
250 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that. For Joe Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Then on election night, as we all know, this happened.
At this point, we can project Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States, winning what had been expected, of course, to be a razor-tight and historic race. And it has been just that projection.
Wasn't that razor-tight, though? I don't agree with that. Okay, now we'll get back to that View clip, which I showed briefly at the beginning. This is so ridiculous. This comment from Joe Biden, it's so irresponsible, in my opinion.
But then election night came, and it was like 2016 all over again.
Yeah, it was.
This means that Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States, winning the most unreal, surreal election we have ever seen.
Why do you think the vice president lost, and were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised, not because I didn't think the vice president was the most qualified person to be president. She is. She's qualified to be president of the United States of America.
Right.
But I was surprised. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman. She's this. She's that. I mean, it really. I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country and a woman of mixed race.
Yeah.
And they played that to a fairly well. In addition to that,
look, I'm so sick of this. My entire adult life, it's been this crap. Essentially, if you support the right-wing candidate, you get tarred with that. It's not nice. It's like so mean-spirited. Yes, you don't care about it and you just let it go, but the part that bothers me, it's just like malicious, and I believe the intent of it is just to be mean. Just, oh, you're racist, you're sexist. Joe Biden, what are you doing? The other part about this that bothers me, I'm going to speculate, but do I trust the Bidens and those around him? No way. After the cover-up of his obvious mental deterioration, I don't trust him. There's speculation that he needs money to sustain his lifestyle, so you get on a show and you call racist sexist. Maybe you like drum up some division to try to make money. If that's the case, it's so shameful. Either way, it's shameful. So final point I'm making this video, he also brought this up in that interview.
Most significant and consequential role I can play consistent with what I've done in the past. I'm writing another book.
Good.
Like 6,000 people are.
Now I'll play a clip from another show which kind of goes with that statement.
Now, you could say, as we've discussed, Biden's doing this to fight back, or Biden's doing this for his reputation. I talked to someone very familiar with the Bidens, and I think they've pointed out something that I'm going to say now that, to me, is the explanation, or at least part of the explanation, which is Biden Inc. has collapsed. All those Biden grandkids had a lavish lifestyle, which they very much liked. Hunter made hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Joe, as a former president, is not in a position.
Look, maybe, and again, I do not trust the Bidens, certainly not after the debacle of just trying to cover, like, oh, he's fine, he's all good. The people in the media, too, saying, nah, it's the best Biden there is.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever.
And again, that statement where he just blanket says sexist, and then also, oh, Kamala's mixed race, I don't even know what he's referring to, because I barely heard Trump even mention that. If someone asked him, maybe he would talk about it if they asked, but I truly don't even know what that means. Where was the sexist or racist angle? There was none, obviously. So it bothers me to just try to drum up division. I'm speculating, but come on. Anyway, with that said, thank you for watching. Biden, excited to devastated. Leave a comment, like the video. Have a great day.